This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. JDF probing Denham Town altercation involving soldiers. The Jamaica Defense Force has launched a probe into the altercation involving soldiers and residents in Denham Town, Kingston on Wednesday. The incident was caught on camera, which has gone viral. At one point, a soldier was seen beating a man with his rifle. Residents have accused the soldiers of using excessive force. As part of the probe, the Army says it is committed to ensuring that appropriate actions will be taken as deemed necessary. The JDF is urging residents of communities within which the security forces are required to operate to cooperate with its personnel as they seek to ensure the safety and security of residents within these spaces. Denham Town is one of several areas under a zone of special operations. The JDF says it is committed to working with the Jamaica Constabulary Force in re-evaluating how the challenges in the community may be better managed. If you have information on this incident, call JDF tip line at 876-837-8888. AK-47 rifle and a shotgun seized in Westmoreland, 4 arrested. An AK-47 rifle and a shotgun were seized by the police in Westmoreland on Wednesday. 4 men were arrested in connection with the seizure. The recovery was made during an operation on Stella Lane Wharf Road in Savannah, Lamar. The police report that about 9:45 a.m., cops searched the premises that was occupied by the 4 men and the weapons were found. The men were taken into custody. Their identities are being withheld pending further investigations. Kingston woman in rental scam pleads guilty. A Kingston woman who defrauded another in a house rental scam was yesterday found guilty in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court. Shawnee K. Rainford, 34, was charged with conspiracy to defraud, receiving stolen property, and making available data for the commission of an offense. She was charged by the police's fraud squad on April 11. The facts of the case are that on December 31 last year, the complainant, 28-year-old paralegal Chantel Spike, saw a website advertising a 2-bedroom house for rent on Waterloo Road in St. Andrew for $55,000. Spike called the number and a male voice instructed her to wire the money to a bank account. She was informed that she could view the premises later that day, but the time was later changed to January 3. Spike contacted the gentleman listed on the website on January 3, but when she got no response, she visited the premises. She discovered then that the house was being rented for more money on a different website. She reported the matter to the fraud squad. Rainford, who admitted to giving her bank account to someone for use, was ordered by the court to make restitution. She only had $20,000 yesterday, which was paid to the complainant. She is to return to court on June 1 with the balance. Spike is making a special plea to people who are fleeced by scammers to report the matter to the police and attend the court. She is also commending the fraud squad for dealing expeditiously with the investigation in her case. I was surprised yesterday to see how many cases similar to mine had to be put off because the complainant did not turn up, she said. Trelawney farming community gets improved roads. The more than 1,400 residents of the farming community of Troy in Trelawney now have easier traverse following the rehabilitation of 2 roads at a combined cost of $106 million. The work was executed by the Jamaica Social Investment Fund under the 9th cycle of the Basic Needs Trust Fund and involved the improvement of the 1-kilometer common road at a cost of $67.3 million and the 650-meter Star Apple Lane for $39.1 million. Speaking at the official handover of the roads on Tuesday, General Manager for Finance and Procurement at the JSIF, Orville Hill, said the thoroughfares have been restored from a deplorable state to the benefit of the community. It has been over 40 years since most of these roads have been rehabilitated, and you can see the effect it can cause on the livelihoods of the residents and more so on our farmers. I am sure the initiative comes as a ray of hope to all the citizens, he noted. He indicated that approximately 35% of the residents are farmers whose livelihoods were affected by the poor road conditions and the newly paved roads will make it easier for them to earn a living and better support their families. So this intervention is really assisting you in getting your products to the market in a more convenient and easier manner, Mr. Hill said. For his part, Mayor of Falmouth, Councillor Colin Gager, in whose division Troy is located, expressed gratitude for the work done. Common Road, which leads to where so much farming is done, will now benefit from the improved road. Star Apple Lane, which leads directly to the National Water Commission pumping station, can now be easily accessed by everyone, he pointed out. He said that the improvement of the roads will help to bring investment to Troy. President of the Troy Community Development Committee, Kedon Glaves, said farmers, community members, taxi operators, and the children of Troy appreciate the work done. He gave the assurance that the investment will be protected. The BNTF is a special fund of the Caribbean Development Bank that is distributed to borrowing member countries in the form of grants to allow for the development of critical infrastructure and social services. Salesman accused of $1.4 million robbery freed. A Kingston salesman accused of robbing a bearer at a gunpoint of approximately $1.4 million worth of high-end cell phones last April was acquitted when he appeared in the Home Circuit Court yesterday. Kemar Lee and 3 alleged accomplices reportedly robbed the complainant of 7 iPhones. Lee was, however, found not guilty of illegal possession of a firearm, robbery with aggravation, and assault charges by Justice Carl Lawrence Beswick. Allegations are that on April 7, 2021, the bearer went to Waterhouse in St. Andrew to carry out a delivery when he was held up and robbed by Lee and 3 other persons, including a woman. He reported the matter and Lee was arrested and charged. However, during the trial, attorney-at-law Shamar Hansen, who represented Lee, challenged the witness's identification of his client. He also argued that there were credibility issues in relation to the prosecution's witnesses. The judge in the end also found that there were serious issues with the main witness's testimony and identification, and as a result found Lee not guilty. Trinidad police launched a search for 2 Jamaican men in cable theft probe. 2 Jamaican men are among 3 persons being sought for questioning in connection with an alleged cable theft ring operating throughout several communities in Trinidad. According to Trinidad's Guardian newspaper, the investigations into the alleged criminal outfit following the shooting death of Dylan Strawn, a 24-year-old laborer of Perseverance Village in Carapicama. Strawn was shot dead by a resident last Saturday after he was allegedly caught stealing cables along Waterloo Road, Bank Village near Sinaswi Street. Allegations are that about 4:30 a.m. Saturday, residents saw a group of persons attempting to steal the cables and instructed them to stop. The residents were allegedly threatened and one resident used a shotgun to open fire at the men, resulting in Strawn being shot dead and 2 teenagers wounded. The other suspects, including the driver of a motor vehicle transporting the men, fled the area. Police detectives believe the Jamaican men who operate a car wash and another man who is involved in the scrap iron business can assist their investigations into a wider cable theft ring operating in several communities, including Bank Village, Cova, Waterloo, and Orange Valley. Jamaican suing UK Ministry of Defence for racism. A Jamaican-born British Army sergeant is suing the UK's Ministry of Defence for racism after his superior officers allegedly ignored or excused fellow soldiers who used the N-word and another racial slur in his presence. Sergeant Floyd Campbell alleges that he suffered continual racial abuse from colleagues during his 11 years in the military. According to the Daily Mail newspaper, one senior officer was accused of excusing a corporal who called him the N-word by saying it had been mistakenly used, having been picked up during banter among black basketball players. The Jamaican alleges that another officer continually used the term umbongo, apparently relating to a popular 1980s juice drink, despite having been repeatedly told it was racist and offensive by colleagues. Sergeant Campbell claims to have suffered from bouts of depression due to the abuse and has now taken the Ministry of Defence to an employment tribunal. At a preliminary hearing, the panel ruled that, though the allegations are up to 6 years old and therefore out of date, Sergeant Campbell's case can be heard as he had been unaware until 2020 that he could pursue his claims outside of the military. The Exeter Tribunal heard Sergeant Campbell joined the Army after moving from Jamaica, where he had worked as a teacher in June 2010. A full hearing is due to be held in the near future to determine whether his claims are successful and if so, if he is due compensation. Security forces conducting operation in St. John's Road. The police and the military are carrying out a major operation in a community known as 31 St. John's Road in St. Catherine, which has been the scene of deadly violence over the last few days. A man was shot and injured during an alleged confrontation with the security forces on Thursday morning. He was taken to hospital. 2 other men are in custody. Deputy Superintendent of Police Paul Bernard of the St. Catherine North Police Division says 2 firearms, ammunition, and a bulletproof vest were seized following the shootout. He said the security forces will continue the operation in the community, which started about 5:30 a.m.
In recent times, we have a flare-up of serious crimes. 3 murders since the start of the month, along with 3 shootings and an arson. Hence the cordon and search operation this morning, joint between the JCF and the JDF. An arrival of the outer cordon team in the vicinity of the tire warehouse of the Spanish Town bypass. The team was greeted with gunfire, loud, continuous gunfire. Hence the fire was returned. On conclusion, 2 firearms were recovered in the shrubs, in the bushes, 3 men held, along with a ballistic vest. We are still continuing our operation. We will not relent. We'll be spending the whole day in this place. But we need the rifles. And this mayhem must stop.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.